Okay, here we go. You guys, I want to talk specifically about best practices to continue to build momentum and interest and FOMO. Honestly, you guys, like major FOMO with MM100 coming out, because it's a really, anytime we have a new program launching, like that's the wave you ride, right? And even if you may not be doing the workout yourself, like you don't have to love every single workout, but there might be somebody in your network that in your circle of friends on your socials following you and motivated by you and inspired by you that might kind of want to like dabble in a new program. And it's our job to be able to influence people to find something that is going to get them results, right? So you might be in the middle of Lift 4, you might be in the middle of 21 Day Fix Extreme, I don't know, whatever it is, but you still have a really great opportunity. And almost, you guys, you got to think about it as your job to get out and talk about these new programs. Because I've said it before, if we are not connecting people to what we have and we aren't being upfront and leading from the front with the new stuff, talking about collagen, talking about the plant-based recover, talking about MM100, maybe even dripping the fact that we have a brand new super trainer that has come on board with Beachbody. He's coming to Seattle on Sunday. So if you guys are like, hey, I'll commute there, come on over. He'll be in Portland too on Saturday, so whatever. But a bar program, like you guys saw the whole, like everything that was dished out, like we have an incredible lineup, and that's just a little bit that's been shared. There's going to be a lot drip throughout the end of the year, but I want to talk specifically about MM100 and really how you can continue to create FOMO, because, you know, don't give up yet. Just because everybody, you know, that is going to take part in this early access is starting January or July 29th, that doesn't mean that you don't have time to still influence people. I will be inviting everybody every single day because they're going to see me doing the workouts. Their interest is going to be piqued because they're going to be seeing moves that don't look like what they're doing. Or they'll be like, oh my God, I totally would dig something like that. Right? So here's a couple tips, and you guys may have already done this or just maybe think a little bit differently about how to apply it. You know that everybody can try the sample workout for free. They don't have to have a Beachbody On Demand account because we have the Vimeo version that they can just stream it on their computer. Obviously, anybody with Beachbody On Demand has access to the sample workout. Give them the opportunity to try it for themselves. Give them 30 minutes to try it and actually tell them, hey, your next workout, can you do this program? It's 30 minutes long. It's going to get a variety of strength training. You're going to get a little bit of cardio hit. You're going to get some core, and you're going to get kind of a little bit of whatever this was, you know, right? And I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the Muay Thai kind of concept, but I think it'll bring such a different layer to all of us as coaches. But you've got to be able to get this in their hands to sample, because if you're just talking about it and, you know, blah, 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 and they're just like, I don't even know what you're doing and talking about, but I kind of, you know, I'm interested, but yet I just saw this other coach say that there was a demo available. I'm going to go ask them. Guess what? They're going to that coach. So going back to the whole, you know, beginning of this, when I said if it's our job to be able to communicate to people all of the things that we have coming out, because if you're not, they're going to the coach that is talking about it more than you are, right? You don't want to be the one that is coming up from behind every time and always the last one to talk about it. You know, I'm not saying that we all overlap, but you never know. There could be somebody that's just kind of watching you, and you may not even think that there's somebody that is a right candidate until the bolder coach goes and tells them to join their challenge group. And you're like, damn it, she's been watching me and following me. We're friends. I can't believe she went with that coach. Well, hello, that coach invited them, right? Now, I'm not saying like I'm going to go steal your friends, because if they're friends, they're like, oh, well, you know what? I'm actually a friend of Mel's. I'm going to be like, well, then go with Mel. You know, like I will never take anybody's customer if I know that they have a friendship with a coach or they're aligned with another coach. And we never want to do that in anyways. But if somebody's not attached to a coach and they're just inspired by a bunch of Beachbody coaches, they're going to go with you because you continue to show up and you continue to keep that interest of theirs to want to be able to participate. So get the demos, you know, get them to do and try the workout and try it a couple times, right? Another thing too is to keep showing up with it. So give little clips of the workouts. You guys, there's no brainer. A lot of us are really savvy and we're doing this already with the workouts we're in, but don't be afraid to just like, maybe your workout right now, you're doing a hybrid of sorts, or you're in a completely different workout, but you're starting MM100. Well, don't forget to just show a little clip. Like it could just take 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be the entire program. Like yesterday, for example, I worked out way later in the day than I usually do. And I practiced a round from Transform Live, which was so fun. And then I just was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go to Cardio Meltdown, and I'm just going to speed through some of it. I'm going to find a couple of moves that just resonate with me, and I'm going to do them. I was already sweaty because I just finished my workout, and I blasted out a couple that I did and posted them up. So they didn't have to know I didn't do it. And then today I did Total Body Badass. And so you guys know that that's generally what I do. I post little clips of my workouts. Like people get ideas from you. So take little clips and throw them up there, but just be interesting about them. Like if you screw up on a move, like don't think you can't post that move because it's not perfect. People want to see imperfections because that's how we are relatable, right? If you, throw a little like a booty shake in the middle, throw a booty shake in the middle because they're not going to expect that from you, And if it doesn't seem authentic to do that, then don't do it. But you get the idea. So just kind of be super creative on how you deliver little bits of the workout. Share before and afters, right? I have a whole story highlight that I added on my Instagram that is all MM100. You guys have Canva. I got the file from the roundtable, which is super dope. I will share it with you guys if you guys use Canva, and you can make the stories yourself. And I created a highlight. And so anytime somebody goes to my profile and there may be new follower, they're going to see that first highlight says commit to 100. And they're like, what the hell is that? They're going to know about fitness, but they're going to scroll through and there's like, I don't know, I think there was 15 or so. And I just loaded them all into a highlight and they're there, right? So showing those before and afters, go live. Mel went live yesterday and talked about why now, like why MM100, what's different about it? Okay. So you guys know it's 100 workouts, right? Well, it doesn't have to be 100 days of working out. There is creativity, and the whole program was designed to be able to be applicable to everybody's lifestyle. Some people only want to work out 4 days a week, right? Like people that resonated with Lift that only wanted to work out 4 days a week and give their all, then that might speak to people. If people are like, oh my God, like I had somebody say today, like 100 workouts, that's a lot. I can't wrap my brain around that. And I'm like, no, hold the phones. Here's the deal. If you want to work out 4 days a week, you work out 4 days a week and you pick the workouts that you want to stack. And I'm going to help her figure out what workouts are appropriate to stack and which ones aren't, because maybe they're a runner. Maybe they're training for something and this is a great strength training component for them, but they want to get out and hit the streets, or they want to go hiking, or, whatever, go live life because it's summertime, right? So speak to the creativity behind the program so people understand there's flexibility, right? But like sometimes, and do it multiple times and at different times of the day, because you never know, if you tend to show and post your post on Instagram or your stories around the same time every day, you might miss an audience that is watching or maybe waiting to see what you have to offer at 6 o'clock at night, if you're usually posting at 6 a.m. in the morning. So use this as an opportunity to kind of flip the switch a little bit on your scheduling for your posts and your stories. And if you generally only post on your Instagram stories, go to Facebook and throw a couple in there. Like I haven't necessarily much because I will post, my Instagram goes to my Facebook business page, but like it's crickets over there. So I know that I need to pull some and put them on my Facebook personal page. Because I get different eyes on that on stories than I do maybe on some Facebook pages, right? Sorry, I'm just going to mute everybody. There's a couple people popping on, and it's I can hear little kiddos, which their voices are darling. Anyways, so just be creative on the timing, but also have the information that you can go on live and speak to it with knowledge, right? So just go grab a little bit of information. You don't have to know everything about it, but just like have 3 bullets that you can have right up next to your camera. So when you're going live, you can like kind of like have your eye go back and forth to see what you want to talk about so you can stay on track, and go watch some of the training videos in the Beachbody Champion page. right? Go see what some of these other coaches are posting and sharing that you could use as your own. But you guys, the number one thing that you have to remember when you go out and talk about MM100, be you. Don't try and act like Ashley Molstad. Don't try and act like Janelle Summers, and don't try and act like Melanie Matthews. Like, you are your own person, right? So we can't try and duplicate what Dawn says, because it might come across totally inauthentic to you and your audience, and they're going to see right through it. So somebody had asked, like, hey, can I have a script on what to say to somebody or what to post? And although it's a kind of a general, like I had said, a script to what somebody could say to your customers, but to tell you what to go out and say on Instagram or Facebook will be completely misread, or may not be authentic to your personality and your vibe, right? Like, remember there was a trend like last year that I feel like is like, hey, do the red heart if it's this amount of weight, do the orange heart, like, and a lot of us actually got some momentum from it. And then others posted and it was like crickets. Like, oh, I got nothing out of that because it wasn't authentic to the questions that you ask, So if it doesn't seem like something you would respond to, don't post it, because they're going to respond to your language and how you communicate. And, as always, we just cannot, be a salesperson for Beachbody, right? Like, we're a walking billboard, absolutely, because of our results and because of the life that it's brought, or, what it's brought into our life, right? And if you are sharing those elements, people are going to want to be a part of that, speaking to the community, talking about the friendships that you have developed and the people you got to meet if you went to Summit, or maybe the connections that you've made when you go to your local Super Saturday or Sunday, because those are local coaches. They have nothing to do with your business, but they are like really cool chicks. And I posted that today. Like, these gals are like, they're a ray of sunshine in my day. Like, we're collaborating on building a badass event to have Amola, can never pronounce his name right. Hopefully he just lets me call him Caesar. Be much easier. But talking about how we can make this a really great event because he's coming, So, those people want to see all sorts of things that are going to get them excited. So just speaking your language, and as if you talk to somebody, and if you have dude and yo and the F-bomb and a swear word here and there, and that's how you talk in real life. If somebody sat down with you at Starbucks and, sat across the table and you guys are just shooting the shit and you have those words come out of your mouth, that's how you are. I mean, I wouldn't say go and like curse all over Facebook, because Facebook doesn't love that. And not everybody, it just kind of comes across not the best all the time. But if that's a general thing, like, an occasional swear word, like, it's not the end of the world, especially if you make fun and you put a little asterisk, because then you can feel the energy and the personality behind that, right? So a couple things that I wouldn't recommend, because I don't want it to be negative by any sense, but just don't limit yourself. You guys, don't limit yourself in assuming nobody's going to want to do this, or assuming that people aren't going to be able to accomplish 100 workouts. Here's what you have to remember, and this is why I think this program is actually quite brilliant. It's not 21 days. It's not even 60 days. It's 100 workouts, right? So we are breeding that culture that this is a long-term play. I don't want to teach you how to lose weight in 21 days and then have you kind of go, all right, cool, I went all in for 21 days and now I just need to take the foot off the gas, right? But the program's designed to work with people's schedules, and they're not long workouts, right? So you want to be able to make sure you're maintaining that message that this is 100 workouts, because you better be committed. I want you to do this with me a year from now. Like some of my girlfriends that do every new workout launch with me, we've been doing them together for like 5 years. We have a thread going that's been going on forever. And it's so cool, right? It's so cool. Not all of them are really even active coaches. Some of them are discounts and some of them are just like customers, and it's great. But yet that's like what you want. You want them to be there and know that they're ready for the next thing, and they're going to be a part of this community. Okay. So just don't limit yourself and assume people do not want to do this. And you also can't assume that they're watching and they're going to reach out to you. Like, be bold and just ask. Don't ask somebody you haven't talked to in 10 years, because that's just kind of yucky. But, create those relationships. Find out what makes them tick. Like, what's been going on in their summer? Gosh, I saw you post about, being in the, the grand marshal for a parade. How cool is that? How did you get to be like that? Or tell me about this race you have coming up, right? Like, talk about those things, because those are really, really important to their lives, and they want to know that you actually care about it and not just have an ulterior motive to sling something at them. Okay. Don't verbal diarrhea, right? Especially on a post, the shorter the better, right? Like, don't feel like you need to give them the entire playbook of what MM100 is on a post. Because guess what? If they're like me and have a short attention span, they will read the first 3, maybe 2 sentences, and maybe like only like 3 or 4 words out of each sentence, because I'm a skimmer, and I'll scroll right by. Like my friends that sell Rodin or Beauty Counter or handbags or jewelry, like I support them, but some of their posts drive me nuts, because I'm just like, that is so yucky to me. Like, I'm supporting you because you're my friend, but I also kind of want to give you like a little bit of a hand holding on your social media game, So don't verbal diarrhea on your posts. And when you take it to direct message, don't do the same. Don't verbal diarrhea there. Ask questions, right? Like get them to reciprocate, get them to like get deeper into what they want. When they're like, okay, well, what's it cost? I mean, you can kind of throw up and say, well, here's what it is, and give them a couple bullets and be direct. Like, that's kind of a cool, like, how ridiculous is that? That's a great deal, huh? Ending with the positive. So if someone asks me, I'll give you guys an example. So what's this going to cost? And I said, well, it depends. I get to build these packages and bundles based on your budget. And I find out, do you have Beachbody on demand? Because I just kind of assume, like, do you have BOD? And someone will go, what's that? I'm like, okay, well, that answers that question. Or yeah, I do have it. And of course, I've already discovered that they're not aligned with a coach, or they're one of my customers. And I say, well, I get to build it based on what your needs are. Okay. So nutrition is my top priority to assure I can get you the results. So I want to give you the tools. Okay. And I've already had that conversation with them. So I'm saying, this is what I'm going to put together for you. And here's what it is. It's a, early access, full year of Beachbody on Demand, like 3 bullets of what our challenge packs are. I'm not using the word challenge pack. I am not using Beachbody lingo, because they don't know what that means. They don't know what challenge group is. They don't know some of the terminology that we are accustomed to from behind the scenes and being tapped into a coach network. So remember, you want to speak their language. Okay. But I always end with a positive when I outline it, whether they're going for the mega or they're just going for the $160. I will say, hey, not bad. And then, like, that's kind of crazy, right? What a good deal. And they're like, yeah, actually not bad. I'm like, oh my God, you know what? I forgot. I have a $10 off coupon. I have 2 left. I got 1 with your name on it. You want it? And they're like, all of a sudden, like, do you notice, like, did you feel like you had FOMO for a second? Like, oh my gosh, she's got 2 left. Maybe I have 5. Maybe I lied. They don't know that, right? Because I might have just discovered 2 more to the next person, or, so create that experience with them that this is kind of like, this is not a big deal. Kind of like we talk about emerald. It's not a big deal. Going diamond is not a big deal. But if you make them think like, oh God, I know it's really expensive, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, screw that then. I'll catch it on the flip side. Like, they're not going to be interested. So you need to kind of give them that feeling that they are getting in a crazy deal, whether that's a high sticker price or not, because quite frankly, $160 is pretty standard for CrossFit gyms, Orange Theory gyms, like these specialty studio, like clubs, bar, like the big things. That's a pretty standard monthly rate. And they don't even have somebody that is going to focus on their nutrition. So know what your specialty is and how you're going to serve that person. And so mine is nutrition. And I'm going to say, hey, listen, the workouts, you're going to nail those, because I'm going to help you figure out what the calendar is going to be for your lifestyle. Do you want to do 100? Do you want to do 3 or 4 days a week and stack a couple? I'll help you figure that out. But nutrition is my jam. And that's why I want you, that's where your results are going to come from, because you told me you want to lose 20 pounds. So I'm going to make sure that we spend a little bit more time to finesse through the nutrition plan. So we're going to talk about 3 options, right? Because MM100, you guys know, has 3 nutrition options. Number 1 is a blend of kind of a little bit of portion with a little bit of mindful eating. And that's the nutrition plan that came out with MM100, right? Option 2, obviously we know, is the portion fix. And option 3 is to be mindset, right? And they all have the chance to unlock those. So to be mindset, I think we can't put it in their cart, but When they check out, there will be an option for them to add To Be Mindset, just the digital. They won't get the workbook and they don't get the water bottle, all that good stuff, but just the digital course for $59. So make sure you guys know that. So I have a gal that has her workouts at the gym that she likes, or she likes to go to the gym, but I'm going to speak to her about possibly MM100, but really like 21 Day Fix is probably going to be the best program for her to take to the gym, right? But nutrition is her biggest struggle. So I said, listen, I have a nutrition course. If you invest yourself and time into a course because you have all these emotional eating issues, I think that you will have a long-term success rate if you do that, because I know my other clients and coaches do, because they invested the time and the money into understanding it instead of me just saying, here, eat this. Because you don't address anything root cause wise when I just tell you what to eat. And breaking down that a little bit more as to why these nutrition courses are so profound. And if you guys were at Summit and attended any of the trainings, most of the coaches said, do not discount the fact that these nutrition courses are so powerful. Fine, maybe you think building them a $250, $300 share cart is a lot of money, but to them, they might be so desperate and they might go, holy crap, I need to get a handle on it because I've tried every freaking diet and I am not addressing the root cause. And that's where we get to shine, and saying, I want to help you address the root cause. Why do you go back and forth on diets? Why do you chase keto and then go paleo and then go, no dairy, and then you go gluten-free, and then you're this, and then, like, why? And, like, ask those questions. So just get into a relationship with these people and really give them the truth, but also pump belief back into them and let them know, listen, this is a community that will change your damn life if you just give it a chance. And encourage them to understand the coach community will level up their results, because now they have coach, just like Mel does on her hat right now, labeled across their forehead. And although it doesn't have to mean anything to them, and I assure them that, you guys, I signed up in 2008 as a coach, had no flipping clue what this community was, what the business potential was, but I knew slapping that invincible coach title on my head was going to require me to do P90X from start to finish. I had no idea how to build a business. I didn't even know what I could do with it because I had no idea what network marketing was. I was a new stay-at-home mom, right? Completely drowning in toddler life, shitty diapers and puke everywhere in my hair, you name it, right? So I was more accountable because I had this title, and I assure everyone, listen, you don't have to do anything with it. Not that I'm saying to go build a discount coach business, but you're going to deliver way better results for them, because now they're going to stick to it, because they're not going to let $15.95 go to waste. And you're going to be sure that they're aware of that, be their homie along the way, and treat them as if they're a customer, because they're always going to be a customer. Like, all of us are customers. And we got to make sure that we're showing up for our teams to be sure we're still getting results, right? Because we are a results-driven company. And if we aren't getting results, but yet we are like showing up and we're not changing, it doesn't have to be physical, but it could be mental, like, how can we expect other people to show up and do the same too, So that's all I really had, you guys. Does anybody have anything that's working that they wanted to share? Anything they're struggling with they want to talk about? Just unmute yourself. So
I have all the things.
Of course you do, Dawn.
Are you shocked? I was making a list.
Well, I saw you go on mute first, so I was like, Dawn's on the mic.
Yep, Dawn's on the mic. Look out.
All right, go.
So some things that are working really well with the group that my friend and I have going. We set it up as an info group, which is ultimately turning into what our group is. But instead of sending the link to people, we put the link right inside the group for the free workout. So we're bringing people into the group, and then we have all of our coaches in there. So any of our coaches that have already gotten the products, any of our customers, we've already been sharing away. People are, showing their pictures that they've already committed. We purchased the super cheap tank tops I posted in the Empowered to Change page. I committed to 100 as kind of like an added incentive to get people loaded up. And then we've been talking, when she and I run groups together, we don't do like a daily post, like a challenge group. We do like a 10-minute video each week. And so the last week, we focused very heavily on nutrition. We were able to highlight the importance of that and have people start to commit to what nutrition program they're following, not just the MM100. So, and we highlighted the importance, like, hey, like that's where your results are going to be. Of course, sharing before and afters, but highlighting that nutrition component. Also, I did want to share, if you're sharing the link directly for people to watch the sample video, you can take it from your online office. Don't send them to Vimeo. And don't send them to BOD, because if they don't already have a BOD and they're like, this is cool, I want it, because, you know, people like, they get impulsive and then they're gone. Send them right from your online office. That was huge. Also, I'm going to be following the 60-day doubles calendar. So it's nice to continue to we're just going to keep adding people to that group that are interested in the program, because it's going just to continue. It's not like we start and end. So as I'm talking to people, it's that constant reminder, like you're never going to be behind. Like there is no behind, it's your own schedule. I think that's been the biggest thing is having that informational piece, and then just hyping the heck out of it. I don't know. That's what I got.
And just to play off that, because I thought it was brilliant, your info group reminded me, you guys, if you don't have a group or you're not ready to run one yourself, our Digital Underground group, like that's basically our team challenge group, right? D, it's the Digital Underground, not the transformation state. Yeah. So the Digital Underground is really active, you guys, still. People post workout selfies. That's where all, like Kiana heads up that group, and D, and I haven't done crap in there, to be honest, in a long time. So, but it's still really, really active. So if you don't have the bandwidth, maybe even to run your own, but you have maybe 2 or 3 people and they might really thrive in that group that has the energy, then put them in there. Because there's going to be posts and there's going to be threads of people commenting and talking, and they're going to feel like they've got a place that they're going to fit in, and they're more apt to feel like they're a part of the community. But you also have to be there to serve them and show up alongside of them too. So I want to make sure you guys remember that. But Dawn, thank you.
The other thing that we're also making sure within that group, any of our coaches that are in there, any of us that use products, like every time we use any of our products, we're like posting it. So those people are constantly seeing it. So when they do come around and it's time to start talking about the products, they're not just hearing from me saying, hey, that stuff is magic. They just saw like 15 people say, oh my God, thank you for Recover. So when we do start to build their cart and talk about it, that's been super helpful, because they're already seeing everybody using it.
Love it. Anybody else have anything that's working? I'll share one. Oh, sorry. Somebody unmuted.
I was going to just say that in my Instagram yesterday and the day before, I've just been posting that page that posts your MM100 tribe. And I just, every time somebody says yes, and then I make sure that I put the question in there and say, if you want to be part of my tribe, put why. And that's been helpful. And that's how I've gotten 2 challenge packs. So.
Was that in your stories?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And I just keep posting the same picture with the question on there. And yeah, that's gotten a lot of, and I told him, I was like, it doesn't have to limit to 5. Like I can make a whole nother page. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Well, and that's the thing. Like we think we post it one time and we're like, well, I don't want to post it again because somebody already saw it. They probably didn't. Or, you know, like how many times do you need to be exposed to something before you buy it? Right? Like those Facebook, you say it and guess what? How weird it is. It's on your Facebook ads, right? Like it's creepy, but people are going to continue to see it. And if you continue to show up and talk about it, and you've got this energy and this happiness and this community pictures of everybody, like they're like, whoa, I'm like totally alone here and going to the gym, and I hate my gym because I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm, you know, like that's what they're thinking. Love it, Mel.
So when you do those pictures in your groups, like if you do have people with their commit to 100, you do your collages, like tag the crap out of them. Like I had a girl on one of mine who went to my high school, but another girl in my high school is in the picture, and she commented on it because she saw this other girl, and she's like, way to go, Janet, like good luck. So I mean, that started another conversation, like, hey Patty, why aren't you joining us? Like, let's go. So you'll start to get from other people seeing like, oh, what's that chick doing? I need more info. They probably won't say that chick. That's how I talk.
And that's exactly how you talk, and that's how your posts come across. Right? I will say too, and I have some images too I'll throw up, or maybe Kiana had posted them already, but we get all these images that have been done for us. It's amazing how many talented coaches there are in our organization that share. Like, it's so cool, you guys. And this is what something that you guys don't know maybe yet, but you know, this roundtable group that I keep referring to is for 5-star and above coaches. And it's basically like, we kind of get firsthand knowledge on stuff that's going on, but we also get a ton of best practices of what other coaches are doing and what's working. So a lot of what I'm sharing is what's working for me, but also ideas I've pulled from them, like the story highlights that I did. So I'll share all those images just so you have material, right? Not that you should go and post corporate pictures or just like, hey, here's a challenge group image. Who's ready to buy? Which one do you want? Like, first of all, Facebook or Instagram will not like that, and they won't post it much. Like, nobody will see it. It'll be crickets for sure. Because face it, would you respond to somebody's post like, ooh, sign me up for that one. I want the most expensive one. Put my name on it. Like, no, you probably wouldn't. But when you have those conversations and you take them into the DMs, then that's where you can understand what they want. And what's worked for me is I've put a package together and I've said, hey, I threw in the pre-workout that I take. You know, I'm up at an ungodly hour, and I know you tend to work out later in the afternoon, but I've also been playing with it as kind of an afternoon pick-me-up. So I'm not kind of hitting that slump, and I'm not going into the pantry to go eat something I don't necessarily need, but taking a little bit of the Energize. So I threw it in your cart. You're not married to it. You do not have to keep it in there if you don't want to, but it's 20% off when it's thrown in after with a challenge pack. So it's worth giving them that info, because if it's in there, they're probably not going to take it out, right? Especially when they're like, oh, I'll give it a try, and be like, hey, you know, it might be worth trying when you start this program. Just, you know, give you a little bit of an extra nudge. So don't be afraid to add in some of your favorites into their share cart. Let them remove it. They're not going to be pissed off. They might if you don't know them, but you know, you've hopefully built a trust with them, you know, to get to the point where you're building a share cart for them, and then you're throwing in something that's your favorite. And maybe you say, hey, you know, you decide to do it. I'm going to send you a $10 gift card to Starbucks just to, you know, just for your loyalty and your appreciation for trusting me. And you know what? If you don't like it, send it back. You don't have to keep it. I don't want you to have something you don't like. Anything that you guys want to talk about, struggles you're having with talking about MM100, or confusion, or where can you find this or that? No. Are we sure? Melissa, I hope you had an awesome 44th birthday yesterday.
I had to throw my age out there.
Sorry. I mean, you did it on Instagram,
No,
so I felt like that was, you know, free game.
I did. That's okay. I'm 44 and I look like I'm 24 and I feel like I'm 24, so I don't care.
Must be all that collagen. You guys feel good? Yeah? Well, I love Mel's idea and the info group, Dawn, that you shared. Thank you. And you guys don't forget about the digital underground. Make sure you take a picture if you want. Everybody, let's just do that, because guess what? This is the kind of stuff you need to be sharing on your socials, because they're like, what is this video thing? You know, somebody might not know Zoom. So it's kind of one more thing, like, don't speak the lingo that maybe your people don't know about. So I'll stop yapping. Hold on. You guys ready? Smile first. Okay, you can ask your question now.
Okay. So I did look in the FAQ too first, because I was like, I don't want to be that person that asks a question. But so Jeff got promo codes too. Can I use promo codes for him, from him, that are people are signing up under me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
There was. Sorry. Go. You first.
Okay. I just was like, I was confused. I'm like, can I do that? So I did. I sent a cart from him yesterday, just because I didn't want her to like run into any problems. And I was like, which is fine, because she's, but okay, cool.
It doesn't have to be within your family. If you've got active coaches that aren't using them, you can take theirs too. My friend and I have been using everybody's codes.
Cool. Good to know. Awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate you being on. Just wanted to give you guys hopefully something, get wheels turning, maybe some other idea on how you connect to people, talk about it. But just, it's Wednesday. We're starting on Monday. But you know what? If not everybody joins you, then so what? Keep talking about it because they might be ready in August. I know summer is a really tough time, but don't give up yet. Don't count yourself as a failure. Don't assume anything because the more you invite and the more you keep showing up, people are still watching and they're going to want to be a part of it because you're creating this community and this experience. And that is exactly what people want. They want an experience to be a part of. They don't necessarily need to see all the glitz and glam. Like they want to see the grit, the cold, hard, just life that you make of it and how they can be a part of it. So just remember that with every post, with every story, with every live that you do, every conversation. Shit, you guys, pick up the damn phone and talk to people, right? Surprise somebody with a phone call, grab a coffee with somebody, talk to your neighbor, invite them over to work out with you. If you have the ability to do that, invite them over. Stick behind work and go to a conference room and do it, just give them the experience. So they're like, God, she really gives a shit. And then when you bring it up about a conversation of how they could be a part of it, it doesn't sound so salesy and yucky. It's because, you've already established that trust and they're going to be down for that. So, you guys are going to get a ton out of Super Weekend. So make sure you're attending one. I know a lot of you guys are hosting your own and they're going to be badass. Film them, take pictures, write notes, and just have material that you can share and allow people to feel like they were a part of it and experiencing it with you. But because it's an open house, here's a really great chance because if you guys don't have super trainers coming to your market, I believe that they are delivering an MM100 workout to do. I would imagine it's probably a cardio one, right? That, you can bring people there because it's open house. We get to share and talk about what our business is and why the coach community is so different. And I think the one thing that is so cool to share is that there's coaches that are giving this material, like cool graphics and stuff that I would never be able to do myself to help other coaches be successful and be able to generate interest. And that's what makes us different than other MLMs. And I think people will see that if you get them to your event, and they won't be able to know that unless you invite them, right? So that's what I got, guys. Did I miss anything on the chat? I lost my venue and oh no! Get to a church, go to a park. You don't have to do it indoors. Like, you're in Florida, you got like beautiful weather, hopefully most of the time. I see if you can go to a venue, put it out on Facebook, girl. Like, hey, we have a venue, we have an event, like 30 some people are coming and we just got kicked, plans fell through. Anybody have a place that would house this many people? You never know who might comment or who might be able to come to the rescue. Could be another Beachbody coach too. Like, oh, hey, you know what? We're doing them down the road. Why don't we just combine them? So
I thought about a park, but then I thought, how do I show the video content if I'm in a park?
You just bring your laptop. It's not ideal. And if you have 30 people, you're not going to have them, crowd around one computer, but there's ways to do it. And you could just take the idea of the videos, you can get creative with it for sure. But obviously being inside with audio visual abilities will probably be a lot better to serve its purpose. But, don't just turn everyone away or not do it just because it has to be outside. You never know. It could be a really cool experience. I know one of Sarah McKinney's coaches did a Super Saturday outside, and she had like 4 people show up, and she said it was like really great and uplifting and empowering to do that. So
between people who said they are coming in interest, there's 30, which I never anticipated for the very first one I've ever hosted. And so when the venue fell through, one of the girls who's planning it with me messaged, there's 3 of us. She messaged her and just willy-nilly and was like, the venue fell through, we have to cancel. And I jumped on and was like, no, we're not canceling. I'm working on plan B and we'll go. I'm like, that's just not an option. I'm not going to cancel it.
No, you'll find something. Just put it out there. Somebody will have a resource, and go into, message me if you will, and I'll go in the roundtable or in the or one of the other groups and just see if I can find somebody that has a resource, just because, you know what, we rally together when there's a need, and maybe corporate can help out in some way or have a lead on something. I don't know. So we'll all work together and try and find something.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. I'll post a recording for those that weren't able to catch it. All right. Peace.